Chairman, and appreciate all the panel members here talking about this important subject. Judging from the last questioner, this is costing us a lot of money, but a lot more than just ratepayer or taxpayer dollars. It's costing a lot of people's futures as well. So it's an important topic, and I appreciate everybody's input here this morning. Mr. McCormick, Commissioner, I wanted to ask you a couple questions. Hatchery use has been something that's been prevalent for a long time, and some criticize hatcheries. Others think they're a vital source for fish. You guys, your organization has really been on the cutting edge of hatcheries in the Pacific Northwest, and we appreciate that very much. Could you describe for us what's been done in our region to expand the value of hatchery fish?
Absolutely, thank you. I think, again, it has been very contentious, and I think as tribes, there's always a conflict sometimes when you're dealing with nature versus, manipulation. And again, I go on to recognize, we tribes have always supported as natural, trying to be as natural as possible, but also recognize the cards that we've been dealt and the cards that lay on the table right now that we have to deal with and we can't ignore. And I think that's where the hatcheries come into play. We've had tremendous success because of the dams with hatcheries, and we've had to do that because of the dams to mitigate for the loss of those salmon. As a fisherman myself, there's great spiritual significance to the things that we do, and that's the effort that we put into it. It's not something that we do because it makes us money. It's something that we do because it's a part of our being. It's a part of the way we live our life, and so that's the effort that we put into it. And so when we have explored these hatcheries, trying to find new methods and cutting edge ways and trying to increase those salmon numbers, it's for the bringing back of those fish. And so we have numerous success stories that I think would take all day to go through, but I think those efforts are because it's necessary right now. Hatcheries are necessary for our part of the region in order to continue to live the way of life that we've brought upon ourselves. So
thank you, appreciate that. There's several pieces of legislation. One is HR 564, which is the Endangered Salmon and Fisheries Predation Prevention Act, which I've co-sponsored. It attempts to amend the Marine Mammal Protection Act to allow Pacific Northwest state as well as tribal authorities to engage and participate in sea lion population management, which you're familiar with. In light of what we're talking about today, do you think that protections under the MMPA have caused an ecosystem imbalance?
I wouldn't say that's the fault. I think I wouldn't blame that. I think there's a lot of factors in that. I think we can use it as a management tool. Again, looking at what we're dealing with and looking at the system that we have to deal with. The imbalance is there, and we have to deal with that imbalance, and that's our burden that we've brought upon ourselves. And I think that's the reason for it.
Mr. Demko, in Central Washington and the Pacific Northwest, through our hydroelectric dams, public power utilities spend hundreds of millions of dollars a year on fish passage and efforts to conserve salmon. In your opinion, can these conservation efforts be successful if we don't have an effective predation program?
No, I think we're actually fighting I think predation is so significant, considering the system that we have in California, the highly altered system that we have, all of the challenges that we have. I think without doing something to reduce predation, it's really just a lost cause. I think we're just throwing money at a problem, and we're not going to get anywhere with it.
Well, again, I appreciate everybody's contribution to this very, very important issue. Like I said, millions of dollars are spent annually, and we need to get it right. And so we look forward to continuing working with all of you on that. And thank you, Mr. Chairman. I yield back my time.